Well, you've heard about me. You have read about me, and perhaps you're just joining us for the first time today. Yes, indeed, I am Mad Dog Bob Lassiter. Let me get right down to the mail. Of course, mail has to be read in the same mood that it was written in. You know, it just does not make it unless you read it in the same mood that the writer had in mind when he wrote it. Okay, let me start with this first one. I'll have to get into character for it. Wheeze. Dear sir, it is unfortunate that you have seen fit to hire Bob Lassiter, who was such a problem for WPLP. You will regret this, as he will do you and your company much harm. The man is an inveterate liar and has the morality of a retarded lizard. He is not at all well informed, and his educational background is close to zero. He had been caught lying about this on the air at WPLP. He hates the callers and his contempt for everyone and everything at WFLA. I will admit that his shock over being fired at WPLP has made him somewhat more polite on the air, but he still does unethical things. I'm ready to have you check on the fact that he uses Gordon Bird, a confused, hateful man of multiple personalities like Lassiter at WPLP, to call into the station as various people, Lionel, Rocky, etc. Sometimes Gordon pre-tapes the comments, but he can switch from one character to the other in seconds. Lassiter uses these characters of Gordon Bird and one other WPLP person to make up for no calls and to block calls he does not want on the air. He and Bird have a great time fooling you and the audience. If you check, you will see that Bird is the voice behind most of the calls. Bird is a great hater and has all sorts of stereotypes, except for his own background. I don't understand that either. But anyway, back to the letter. He has had a deep influence over Lassiter for the worse. Bird, Lassiter attack Christians, old people, Northerners, those from the South in general. Northerners from the South? I don't understand that either. But again, back to the letter. It is against FCC regulations for you to allow Lassiter to fool the public this way by using an impersonator. You should have real people, however dull, call into WFLA. Lassiter hates this area and should not stay where he can barely get through the day because of his loathing. You got him out of another mess. WPLP got him out of still another. Some are saying that he is some kind of agent provocateur and that this is why he is being hired. WPLP, he admitted that he and his helpmate, Gordon Bird, and Michael traced calls. For whom? For your own good and the health of this community. You should get this messy mind, that massive pollution out of Tampa. We will all be the better for it. Poor people who trust him should not be messed up by Lassiter anymore. He is half literate, but 100% poison. Signed, Listener. Love that. Love that. It's another one, too. Ooh, mailbag was good this morning. This one's a postcard. October the 8th, 1987. To no names, to no brains, Bob. You are wasting primetime radio on an otherwise great radio station. Instead of criticizing snowbirds, which I am not, elderly, which I am not, and everyone who does not come from eastern Pennsylvania or whose name is not Bob Lassiter, you should have some constructive, thought-provoking topics. Thought, by the way, is spelled Thooght, to discuss your programs. Your programs stink. I only listen to you by mistake when I can't get to a radio to change stations. And that one, isn't even signed. I feel it's so hard for some of these people to write letters. If you would like, we could put together a little electronic letter to the general manager this afternoon. If you have the same feelings, the same passion about this program that these two letter writers have, maybe you just might want to take advantage of the facilities of this radio station. We could tape it and send it down to Peter Handy, the general manager, perhaps a copy to with Dick Norton. What is his name? The guy on in the morning is the program director. Dick Norton, I think is his name. We'll give him a copy, too, because obviously, as some of you have clearly caught on, management is not aware of what I do. They have no idea whatsoever. They never listen to the station. They're always listening to the FM. So, I tell them, that I'm going to do nice shows, and I come in here and do what I do, and then I come out of the studio, and they say, what did you do today? And I'll say, well, I did a show on getting people to donate blood to the Red Cross, and they believe it. They have no idea what's going on, and I'm really starting to feel awfully bad about it. I will give you 30 seconds to race to the telephone and we will tape them, allow you to give your comments, obviously only bad, to the general manager. If you really want to do it, I will allot 30 seconds. I'll give you the telephone numbers. If you're serious about it, you'll get on the phone. If you're not, then we'll go on to something else. It won't cost you a 22-cent stamp. You won't have to trouble yourself looking up words, tough words to spell like thought-provoking. And you know you're there. You have 30 seconds. $20 seconds left. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Time is up. There aren't any hate callers on the line, so we will just move on to something else. Cowards. You people are really cowards. Really, really cowards. I mean, come on. These two turkeys that wrote this, you're obviously sitting out there listening, and you have hundreds of people who feel the exact same way, but you're just cowards. Sneaky little cowards who write anonymous letters to the radio station. I do declare, you people ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Absolutely ashamed of yourselves. Well, I have another idea, too. Brad, do you have that promo in there, the letters promo? Could you play that for me? There's a line in that promo that perhaps we could work on today. Just throw it up here on the air if you would.
And now, another look into the WFLA mailbag. Of Bob Lassiter, George in St. Petersburg says,
miserable birthday fag. He couldn't even get into the National Guard.
Mr. E. Snyder of Largo adds,
his callers are indeed morons and masochists who enjoy being insulted and made fun of.
Stop it right there. Morons and masochists who enjoy being made fun of. If you're a moron or a masochist and you would like to call up and be made fun of, I will also be delighted to chat with you this afternoon, because obviously it's what most of the audience enjoys. And you, according to the letter writer, also enjoy it too. The letter writer must know. He's probably a frequent caller. So this is your opportunity as well. I'm just in a really feisty mood today. It could be an interesting afternoon. 12:19 the time. Oh, surprise. Pinellas, of course, is full. A couple of lines still yet to go in Hillsborough. 3 to be honest with you. 990 WFLA. This should be exciting. Bill in Clearwater. Hi, you're on the air, WFLA. Hello, Bill. Don't chicken out now, Bill. It's your big chance. You've waited for this all of your life, Bill. Your opportunity to talk on the radio. No longer are you going to be just one of the masses, Bill. Now you're out there in front of everybody. Don't be nervous, Bill. Don't be afraid of stumbling over your words. Don't be afraid of being thought of as an idiot. Just speak right up, Bill. Did you have anything else to add, Bill? Bill's kind of laying back there, terrified to talk. Bill's the kind of man that sits at home and shakes his cane at the radio the entire 4 hours that I'm on. Finally, he got up the nerve to dial the phone, or possibly he got his nurse or someone to come in and dial it for him. And he was going to tell me what for. He's still there. I guess Bill's losing his nerve. Perhaps he's just sucking on his oxygen machine, trying to get up, enough wind to go on with the conversation. He was all ready to go just a moment ago, and he was speaking to my producer, Mad Mongrel James. Okay, Bill. You blew it, baby. You blew it back into obscurity, Bill. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah. I caught on to that, too.
All right, you're doing a good job, Bob, but
Okay.
I think you ought to be a little bit meaner.
A little bit meaner.
Yeah.
Maybe something like, if you're going to make another dull call like this, Malcolm, don't bother to ring my number?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yep.
Okay, get off my phone, Malcolm. You're a bore, man, a bore. Ed in Tampa, hi, you're on the air, WFLA.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah?
I just want to call in and abuse you a little bit.
You want to call in and abuse me a little bit? What, are you tired of abusing yourself?
Yeah. I'm Lassiter.
Yes,
How you
Renee. I'm doing fine, thank you.
Listen, I learned something from you when I listened to your show the other day about trying to keep it up.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you what I did. I went out the other night last night, okay?
Yeah.
And I met this lady. She was very nice, you know, and it went pretty good. But anyhow, what I did, I went into the room, masturbation. I played it first. Then I went and I listened to the baseball game, and I had it up pretty good all night until, you know, the second time is a long time.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good, and I learned that because that way you can keep it up if you fool around with yourself a little bit at times, and then take care of yourself little by little.
Well, I'm glad you learned that from us, Renee. But for the most part, on those shows, the callers would call up and say things like, I hope your dog drops dead, you're a faggot, you're fat.
Yeah. I think coming Monday, you're going to be up against some stiff competition.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're scared about it.
They're switching Richard Shanks. You know who he is, don't you?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Oh, okay.
I know him.
Yeah, they're putting him on at 12 against you there.
That's right.
You ever listen to his shows?
Gonna slay him.
Huh?
They will bitterly regret it.
Well, I mean, have you ever listened to him? Tuned into him?
A couple of times, yeah.
You find him pretty interesting?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Mm-mm.
Oh, why is that? Any particular reason?
I just don't.
You just don't find him interesting. I suppose you don't find any of them interesting, right?
Very few people.
How about Fowler?
How about him?
You like him?
Yeah, I'm a friend of David Fowler.
Well, I know you are. I know you have to say something good about him. But I mean, as far as the show goes.
Sometimes I enjoy it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty sincere guy.
Me, not only you, but anybody in this world that keeps referring to the woman. They said, oh...
Well, Marianne, I'm gonna stop you right here and right now because I take great resentment of people that don't bother to listen to what it is that I'm saying. I take real great resentment.
Ask you a question.
Marianne,
I have a question.
Marianne, I will go through this one last time. In Pat Robertson's view, Pat Robertson is the man who walks around calling women who fornicate outside of marriage whores.
Oh,
so by
what I'm
his
talking about.
standards, his wife is a whore.
I know, but I want to know from you, what word can we use to also speak about the man as demeaning as the word whore is to a woman? What do we call a man who isn't...
Any word you want, Marianne, because it ain't my problem. I don't have a hang-up about it.
We have a word to call, to also refer to the man as doing something out of wedlock, such as Pat Robinson is a whore. But what should we call Pat himself?
Any word you'd like to, Marianne. That ain't my problem. You see, I couldn't care less.
I would like to have the man implicated.
Well, make one up, Marianne.
Okay. He's a bastard.
Fine. Now do you feel better?
Well, I don't know, but I would like people, you, Pat Robinson, anybody in this world, not to always talk about the woman who went to bed out of wedlock, but let's say also something about the bastard who took her to bed.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, there's kids that listen to your station and hear your bad language. I'm only 11 years old, and I listen to the station, and I hear a lot of the bad language that you say.
So?
Well, is your show rated R?
No, my show is rated highly.
Well, then, why do you say such bad language in the daytime?
Such bad language like what?
I'm not allowed to say what you say, because you cuss a lot.
Oh, I cuss a lot.
Yeah.
Well, what, has it turned you into a juvenile delinquent? Are you out there buying dope now and trying to hire women for illicit purposes?
No, I'm not.
Oh, have you killed anyone recently?
That kind of stuff.
Have you killed anyone recently?
No. All I do is listen to your bad language.
Well, it doesn't seem to have had any effect on you, does it?
Can't you control your language at all?
Yeah, I can control my language. I do control my language. So since it doesn't seem to be having any effect on you adversely, what's your problem?
Well, I hear some real bad things that you say, and I don't even know what they mean, and then I learn what they are.
Well, wait a second. If you hear me say things and you don't even know what they mean, how do you know they're bad?
Well, because then you start talking about them.
No, the truth is your mom made you make the call. Isn't that the truth?
No, I asked her if I could. And she said it'd be okay.
Well, if you don't even know what I'm saying, I just don't understand how you know it's bad.
Because
you assume that everything that you don't understand is bad?
You talk about it on the radio.
You talk about what on the radio?
About whores and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So do
I
preachers.
learned what it is.
So do preachers. Every day, preachers get into the pulpit and talk about the exact same things I talked about.
I mean, they don't go around saying real bad things like you do, though.
Oh, sure they do. Sure they do. All the time, preachers climb into the pulpit and call people whores and even worse. All the time.
Don't do that.
Sure they do.
No, they don't.
Oh, give me a break, kid. Don't lie to me, huh?
Christians don't go around cussing.
Oh, don't they?
No.
Oh, you should hear
Because my mom's
some of
a
the...
Christian herself, and she doesn't cuss at all.
Great for her. I don't cuss either.
You've been doing it on the radio.
Now, what's cuss? Cuss is a curse word, right?
Yeah.
I don't curse anybody. I don't believe in curses, so how could I possibly curse somebody? There is no such thing as a curse.
That's what you've been doing the whole time.
No, you see, a curse would be something like, Mike, I hope your nose falls off for making a stupid call. That would be a curse. A curse would be something like, Mike, you should rot in hell. That would be a curse.
Well, sometimes you do say things like that.
No, I don't. No, I don't, because, Mike, I don't believe in hell.
You don't believe in heaven or hell?
That's right, Mike. So I certainly wouldn't tell anybody to go someplace that I didn't believe existed, would I, Mike?
Maybe when you die, you'll believe in it.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't, Mike.
You might find out.
Yeah, and you kind of hope I go to the other place, don't you, Mike? You see? You're the one who's doing the cursing, Mike.